Alright, thanks so much for joining me. This is Jessie and this is my channel, The Caffeinated Bookworm. And today I'm going to be reviewing Strange Weather in Tokyo by Hiromi Kawakami. So this is a really short book. It was less than 200 pages as the Caffeinated Bookworm reads. And it was a unique experience. I don't think I've ever read anything quite like it before. So you have Tsuchiko, who is in her 40s, and Tsuchiko has never seemed to get into the mindset of adulthood. She has a run-in with a guy she went on a date with once. She mentioned how he seems so adult-like, like he's clearly an adult. His mannerisms, the way that he talks, the things that he does, they're so adult. But in her mind, she never reached that stage. Well, she meets up with Sensei, who is a former Japanese professor from when she was in school a long time ago. She runs into him at a sake bar, and they strike up a conversation, and it develops into a friendship over the course of many accidental meetings. So when they run into each other, they'll strike up a conversation, and then it blossoms into the friendship. And they have some interesting adventures. So the sake bar owner invites Sensei to go hunting wild mushrooms with him in the mountains. And Sensei and Tsuchiko go, and the bar owner loves to turn around and talk directly to whoever he's talking with, even while he's driving. So the drive to the mountains in itself is an adventure. But then they meet up with his cousin, who is also a character. You know, he just briefly enters the story, but he's a character in and of himself. And they go hunting wild mushrooms. Now, Tsuchiko has a kind of melancholy quality to her, and so when Sensei goes off with the cousins, or when they get ahead of Tsuchiko because she's not keeping up with them, she kind of has a self-pity party, and she feels like Sensei has left her behind. And this theme kind of repeats itself. Later on, Sensei invites her to the cherry tree party, which is a party that the teachers have every year. And it's a really interesting party because it kind of reminds me of almost like the night circus, in that it appears and then it disappears in a way. So every year the teachers throw this cherry tree party. But at the end of the night, regardless of how drunk they are, because there's a lot of drunken revelry, right? All the teachers stop what they're doing. Before they leave, they pick up every last bit of evidence, every candy wrapper, every bottle of alcohol. They take out the trash. So the next day, it doesn't even look like there was ever anything there. There was no party there. It's really interesting. But Sensei goes off and he talks with the art teacher during this party, and Tsuchiko, she gets into this pity party again, and she ends up leaving the party with that guy that she had previously dated. And he tries to, I think, pull her into a relationship, and it's not until that moment that she realizes that she's in love with Sensei. She goes and she tells Sensei that she's in love with him, and there's this whole dance around whether or not Sensei feels the same way about her. They actually go on a trip together, but they stay in separate rooms, and Sensei takes her to see his wife's grave, which of course throws Tsuchiko into another one of her melancholy moods. I don't want to ruin the ending for you, but it was such a short book, but it felt like a long time. Like, it felt like there were days and months, you know, that this was developing. And then at the end, you kind of get a feel for exactly how long it was. But I loved it. I definitely enjoyed it. I know she's got a couple of other books out, including the Nakano thrift shop and A Record of a Night Too Brief. Thank you so much for joining me for this review. Definitely go pick that up if it sounds interesting. Have a wonderful day.